What piece of advice would you give a college student, whether it's a boy or a girl? Mm-hmm. What piece of advice would you give a college student so that way they can succeed?
The first one, the piece of advice I would give to, you said a college student?
A college student.
Is to remain focused.
Okay.
Because you have to remain focused, because you're going to have so many distractions. You're not at home in your room by yourself no more. You got people running up down the hall. You got a lot of stuff going on in your dorm room. So I would say remain focused. That means you can't study in your dorm room. If your dorm is loud, you got to go to the library. You got to set up time to go to the library and sit by yourself, or groups of people where you can study together and get things done together. Maybe if you have a hard class, say, hey, you research this part, you research this part. Everybody comes together, collaborate, study together. That way your grades will not slack. It's okay to party. It's okay to have fun. But the main point of college is to remain focused so that you can get the degree.
Okay, I like that. I like that. To all those individuals out there that heard the question I proposed to Octavia is, what piece of advice would you give someone that's going to attend college? And whether that is a community college, whether that is a JUCO, whether that is a 4-year university, what advice would you give someone? Because our audience members, many of them have gone to college, and they have an understanding of that community and environment, and so we want to be able to do that. Yo, I got this like crazy burp that just like, I don't even get this, John. It don't make no sense to me.
But yeah, that was the question. Do I need to repeat my answer?
No, you don't need to repeat. I would personally give the advice of, well, it goes into what we've talked about, that college is, the college phase is more than a phase. Right. And that it's a real opportunity to explore and exercise gifts that you may have or didn't know that you had. So I would tell them, always look in the long run and recognize that this is not just a moment in time. Right. That it really is an opportunity to be able to set you up. And you do hear it, but you hear it in the sense of, like, again, what we talked about last time, you go to college, get your degree, you make money, but there's so much more to just that phase, whether it's getting involved, like you said, managing time, we'll talk about that, being focused, being in organizations, getting jobs on campus, and all those things that can open up. So I definitely want to I would say that it's more than a phase. It definitely is. But we're going to get to some of these comments. Mr. Bob said, manage your time well and network. And I definitely agree with the networking, because, again, goes back to, you're in an isolated community, right? And there's not too many opportunities you have in life to where you get so many different cultures, so many different experiences and people in one area that is more than willing to have a conversation with you. You know, versus when you get out here in the real world, everyone's in their own zone and everyone's working on their own thing. So you don't have that close-knit opportunity to do so. I know social media kind of expanded that a little more, but that's a great time. So networking and time management. Yes.
Sarah said, if your gut tell you don't hang out on a particular night, don't go. Stay home, study for your exams, and be what your parents sent you there for. A winner, not a clubber. So she basically saying,
I like that.
Study.
I get what you're saying.
Don't hang out all the time with your friend. Because, I definitely experienced that in college, because they used to call, I don't care what I say, they used to call me Sister Mary in college, because I didn't drink, I didn't smoke, I didn't do things I wasn't supposed to do. So they used to say I was Sister Mary. I was always saying, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't do that. And that's just the way my mother raised me to be, is to be a respectful woman, and to know, respect yourself. Because if you don't respect yourself, no one else will. So that's how she raised me. So when I saw people doing things that I knew I shouldn't be doing, then...
The sun is out. What kind of mess is that? I was low-key like, yo, I'm starting to sweat.
The sun just came out.
I mean, thank you, Jesus, but geez. But go ahead, my apologies.
But your friends sometimes may want to do things that you're not interested in, or may want to do things that you may be interested in, but you're like, should I go with these people or should I not go with these people?
That night.
I think that was that night. And so
fact that she said.
I would say, don't don't go out with friends all the time. You have to focus on your education.
That's
you got to study. You got to do what your parents sent you there. Like Miss Sarah said, that's their money that they're sending you to college with. And so if you have grants and you have loans, what's the point of going to college and wasting that? You have $10,000 worth of loans and you didn't even finish your college degree.
Good point.
So,
I want to get to, we got some other comments. I can't really see it right there. So.
It's right there. I already said Sarah's.
So Mr. Solomon said, get what you're there for, and that's an education. Mm-hmm. And I think that's important because we are there for education. That's the first thing, get your grades, right? Like, you got to get your grades off gate. That's very, very important. Mm-hmm. And then Mr. Cameron said, advice to a college student, work hard and play hard, party harder. And okay, you out. But you know what? But I think he does make a valid point. Again, it goes back to, you are in a community and an environment that mostly everyone does party.
Yeah, I did.
And so this is that opportunity to go ahead and do it, get it out the way.
Right.
And just have fun. Like you said, you go in there, you do work hard, but then you worked hard. If you got 3 exams in one day, what you gonna do that night?
Party.
You gonna party? Yeah. One of my and he's very truthful in that you only go to college once, unless you go to like post grad, but even then that's still like not the same as undergraduate. Right. So I think that is important for you to do that, and I definitely agree with him on that. But Mr. Darrell said, don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone.
Yes, and
this is actually something that Dr. Hardy talked about. Mm-hmm. Is that individual, again, that close-knit community. Mm-hmm. You have so many opportunities to hear speakers come, to go to events on campus. I mean, I went to art galleries. We had art gallery on campus. I went to an art gallery, but you have the opportunity to hear so many different opinions for free, and enjoy this stuff
and meet
the people and meet so many different individuals and try so many different things, whether it's food, because our dining halls, they would have different days where they had different food. Of course, Fried Chicken Wednesday was the best day, right? But then they had days where they had alligator. They had days where they had random stuff like Asian Day and all these things. So, yeah, they had alligator.
I heard it was good, but I don't know if I would try it.
So, I think that's something that is very important, is about stepping out of your comfort zone, especially you're in a situation where you go to a college away from home. Mm-hmm. And you're in the college actually is a completely different environment from where you came from. Because for me, I grew up in Winston-Salem. So again, that's Jordans, Forces, Tall Tees, D4L, Nelly Life, right? And then I went to a PWI of East Carolina, to where Sperry's, Uggs, leggings.
Why are you making that face?
Because that don't make no sense. That joint used to piss me off. Why are you going to class in pajamas?
That joint irritated me.
That joint irritated me.
That means you probably didn't brush your teeth.
There's a high possibility you didn't, right? But you're in a completely different culture, and so definitely getting out of your comfort zone.
Right.
And I think that all boils down to something. Again, what Cam said: you only go to college once. Mm-hmm. You get that education, and you go out and you do party, you have a good time, you meet new people, you get out your comfort zone, you learn these new skills about yourself, and be in a position to meet have so many different experiences. So that's good advice, man. Jeez. Yes. I like y'all. This is why, man. This is why I rocks with y'all. I rocks with y'all.
Yeah.
So that's very important. So that's nice. I really do like that. So thank you all for your comments.
Thank you.
For doing that. And don't take it lightly, because it takes courage to do that. So thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
You still wild about that party harder joint. But I mean, look, everyone. I remember in college, man, my second semester, my spring semester, my freshman year. Mm-hmm. Freshman year, boy, I think we partied maybe like Tuesday. We did a lot of traveling. That semester. We did a lot of traveling. We went all over North Carolina trying to party. Yeah, so it was a great time. We did too.
Yeah, we did that a few times.
And it's something that Mr. Solomon says there are a lot of homeless people walking around the streets that went to college. And I think that goes back to his point as far as getting an education, and then even further as applying it, So, but knowing Mr. Solomon, there's even more depth to what his statement is. Right. So I can't wait for that conversation to have that to see even the more of what he's saying, because I like how he thinks. It's a new perspective.
Maybe that people go to college and they graduate, but during college, maybe they didn't. I don't know. I would like to ask him that, but that may be like a really long answer.
Well, listen, what we'll do, we can always continue this conversation later on. We would definitely want to be timely. It is now 4:55.
Yes.
And so what we're going to do, we're going to go to this last commercial break, and we're going to come back and we're going to end the show off because we want to be timely. We want to respect your Saturday afternoons. Yeah. So what we're going to do, like I said, we're going to take this quick commercial break, and we'll be back here at the Joshua Burney Morning Show, Saturday afternoon edition.
Legal issues can be difficult, whether they were in the wrong or in the right. You don't want your loved one to sit in jail waiting for their day in court. My name is Naya Powell. My commitment to you is to get your loved one out in a timely, caring, confidential, and professional manner. As a mother myself, I never want to imagine that my child would be in a situation where they find themselves arrested. Unfortunately, life happens, the good and the bad. When the bad happens, I am here for you and your loved one.
But you have to understand, I understand what Cam is saying,
reliable bail bond service, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I will bring your loved one home
you have to understand,
in court. I know this can all be very confusing. All you know is
because we all cross.
Don't worry, call me. I will explain it to you step by step, and we'll get through this together. This is Naya Powell, the East Coast Bail Bond Lady, partners with AAA Sherrod Bail Bonding. Call me at 252-512-0831. That's 252-512-0831.
No, he's a captain. But yeah, I want to talk about something Cam said and about partying harder, because it's no different from when someone says you work hard and play harder. It's no different. Mm-hmm. You're just doing it in college, right? Like you don't have grown people money where you can take vacations, and I mean you have your spring breaks and you do have your breaks, but when you're older, you have grown people money, not college money. So those are two different things. So when he's saying that, it's no different from when the person says work hard, play harder. It's no different. So in college, though, when you work hard, when you have 3-4 classes, 5 classes, you got late classes, you got to keep up with all these classes, and then you talk about being involved. It is very taxing, and you do want to find ways to relax. And so, of course, one of the main things is partying. And I think in a situation of which me and Cam experienced, and so many others, is that we were put in the situations of organizations that allowed us to be able to experience some of the highest level of the partying. And whether that was throwing the parties, whether that was being able to get in parties for free, whether, and that's because you may know somebody of another organization.
Yeah, like we knew everybody.
He was a captain, right? So, being able to know somebody, Lowe, Dorsey, Neek, Will, Pat, so many, there's a lot of them. I'm cool with a lot of them. So knowing them getting club parties for free, vice versa, because when I was an alpha in college, they come to parties, so you get to meet all these people and you have a great time. Right. And so you work hard, you party harder, and I definitely. I can't blame nobody for going and throw no party. Now look good. We do parties at the crib.
Especially if you get in for free.
We do parties at the crib. Shout out to 124. To the homes. Shout out to 124. But anyway, listen.